My next guest calls the idea of men paying for everything the prostitute syndrome. Warren Farrell is author of the book, Why Men Are the Way They Are. Also joining us is romance consultant Rebecca Sidnor, who's author of Making Love Happen. Rebecca says a man who wants to split the bill is looking for a buddy, not a romance.
I find this post from Lizzo very interesting because it kind of sums up what young ladies mean when they say they want a partner. I'm really grateful to have someone extremely supportive who doesn't ask for anything from me, nor does he need anything from me.
If a man is taking me out, he's paying for everything. Like, you asked me out, you wanted to see this. You gotta pay for it. That's it. Women don't pay for dates. That's just it on period. We should never pay for a date. That's how I was raised. I don't pay for dates.
The funny thing about the use of the word partner is that when partnership was being sold to us in the 90s, this is what we thought partnership actually meant.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I'm putting my heart in this dog. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Some things just don't change no matter how liberated we are. And romance and courtship is one of those things. In the beginning, if a man pays for dinner on a first date, it's clear that he's interested in romance. But if he doesn't, and he comes across as liberated, he's looking more for a friendship. And some men will pay sometimes and sometimes not pay. So that's a mixed message.
This 1991 clip from the Oprah Winfrey Show gives you a glimpse as to how wild the 1990s were. It was a time where we were just entering the age of the modern woman that was being freed from the traditional roles of the past.
Of course, I asked some women out, and many women asked me out.
I'm not finished.
Go ahead.
You ask a woman out for the evening. You go to a restaurant. You're not going to pay. I expect you to pay for my dinner. That makes me a prostitute. You should go for counseling.
Are you asking?
At the same time, there was this desire to preserve the roles that traditional men had, at least financially. And now we have a hot mess.
I don't think I'm considered a hoe no more. I don't really got nobody in the last like 2 or 3 years.
She said no more.
Don't say no. No, your wholeness can get deleted like after a certain amount of time.
Don't claim it.
Message to me.
When a man and a woman meet on the first date and a man doesn't pay, what he's saying is, I respect you. I want a woman. No. Wait, hold for a minute. He's saying, I want a woman who is. You've been talking about liberation. You've been talking about wanting to be listened to. You've been talking about being your own person. I believe you. I want a woman who will, when the check comes, doesn't walk away to the ladies' room and expect that I'm going to be your success object, that I'm going to be your wallet. I don't want a prostitute in my life. I want a woman.
But it's not a business
when
proposition.
you say that a man can't afford you, basically what you're asking the guy to do is take the money out and say, how much, honey? 20, 40? And she just takes it, right?
What's beautiful about what Dr. Warren Farrell is doing here in 1991, and essentially the lion's den of feminism, is essentially calling feminism to task. You want to be freed from the oppressive structures of the past, but you also want to hold on to the things that you like about the past. So essentially your roles are going to evolve in a way where you get exactly what you want, but you're still expecting the guys of the past to hold up their end of the bargain, but just let you do more of what you want to do, which is essentially ripping up the social contract. And he's calling them out on it.
And you know what her answer would be? You know what her answer would be? It's that this money isn't good enough. She wants the gold card. There's what she wants. See that? Now, we have to ask ourselves a question. Warren? If we want men to express their emotions, and then you ask a question, and then you create the answer, and you make an accusation like you should go to counseling before you get an answer, that's the type of person who themselves needs counseling. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
You ask me, you pay. I ask you, I pay.
I agree with that. I am trying to respond to you.
What about, let him explain what he said.
I am trying to respond to your question. We have in this society a double jeopardy. We first tell men, you have to ask women out. And then we say, men, you have to risk all the rejection about taking 150 risks of rejection between first eye contact and first intercourse. And then we say, men, you have to pay, having risked the rejection to ask her out, and then you have to pay to risk the rejection to be sexual with her. And then so it's the only place in society where we tell people they have to pay for rejection.
On the other hand, how many men have you asked out and paid the check?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many men?
There's been plenty. I mean, I'm married now, but there's been plenty.
Oh, you did pay.
Oh, yes.
When you were single, you asked men out and paid the check.
Many times when we were dating. I'm sorry. A date is a date. And that's what we're getting down here. Basics.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right.
We have to confront the basic social message that says that 95% of the time, we as men are expected to do the asking out. If we lived in a society where men and women both got plenty of permission to ask women out, and if we lived in that type of society, we'd have a lot more women able to control their own lives, be powerful, and be liberated and be in charge of their life, because you don't want your daughter just having veto power in life. You want your daughter being able to control her life,
but it just
going up and asking out who she wants.
And that is the beauty of him being on this panel. He's essentially saying, you wanted control of your life, it is your job to take control of your life. When you choose to date a guy, you own it. Even if the guy is not the right guy for you. We hear it so often on social media. A guy will pretend he's so and such, and he will get the best of you, and then he'll drop you off and he hurts you. Sis, you chose him. That's what liberation is. You have to own the decision. But again, it goes back to the gender roles. We want some of the roles, but we want you to take the other ones that we don't really want.
Men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power.
You don't think
a man cannot permanently taint me. But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his in her, she no longer has value. We're the but who are we all? But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly, why miss out on potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out?
You know, an equitable relationship is what most women I know are looking for. And that means on the first date, he does ask you out, he does pay, but maybe next week you take him on a picnic or you make him a good home-cooked meal.
Right.
You make it an equitable relationship.
Me and my pal Jim here plan to lay in a load of firewood before lunch. So we make no mistake about breakfast. Hot Quaker oats.
I don't go looking for money because I'm very comfortable, okay? Mm-hmm. I own my own house. I drive my own Mercedes that I bought, okay? So I don't go looking for it. I look like a woman that a man who is about something is attracted to. That's all. I don't go saying, what do you drive? And about the car...
No, wait a minute. Let's be more honest.
Let her finish. When I drive my Nissan, men don't wave at me.
What's funny is that there's a bit of irony in the fact that even here in 1991, they have the representation of the 21-year-old gold digger who proudly says that men have bought her half of her belongings. She has a gold Rolex watch, and she took the gold card and kind of played around with it. And then we here have the independent, strong sister girl who essentially said, I got my own house, I got my own car, and guys want to wave at me because I have a Mercedes. And here, Warren Farrell essentially tells these women what the future is going to be.
When I drive my Nissan, men don't wave at me, okay? And they do come asking, what do I have, and where do I work, and what do I drive? It gets just as important to men. It gets just as important to men.
Ladies, gentlemen, please,
The sad thing is that many of these women draw into their lives guys who are so insecure that they feel that they're not worthy of a woman until they pay for a woman. And so if you choose a man by his Corvette, you're going to get the type of man who's saying, I'm too insecure to have my heart be seen. I'm going to flash around this Corvette, so because I'm so unworthy of a woman like her, unless I show my Corvette, then she brings into her life men who look at Corvettes and then complains about the fact that they treat her as sex objects. But we men are trying to say now, we agree with women when women object to being used as sex objects. We men also don't want to be used as success objects.
If we were able to take this young Dr. Warren Farrell and transport him into the future 35 years later, and he got a chance to see the fallout from the T-app, it would just be what he was warning the young ladies for 34 years previous, that if you're chasing guys based on success markers, then guys will show you that and get what they want out of the relationship, and then they'll bounce. And then you'll be standing around saying, why can't I find a guy that's emotionally available, a guy that's emotionally connecting with me? That's not what you wanted. You wanted the guy with the success markers. So own it, but they're not ready to own it. As a matter of fact, the duration of this show is essentially, we want our cake and we want to eat it too.
I don't need a man to open doors for me, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to buy me flowers, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to compliment me, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to protect me, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to lead, but I wouldn't date a man who doesn't. I don't need a man to provide, but I wouldn't date a man that doesn't.
Okay, you're married? And is she a greedy woman?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
But she's the good kind of greedy. She's married greedy.
She's married.
Right.
Right, it's nothing wrong with being greedy, but I still share. But I feel like I deserve certain things. I like to look good. I like, I feel like I have a reputation to uphold. And I know he wants me to look good when I'm out, so yeah, I'm greedy. I ask for things.
The man with the Corvette who bought the $165 wine, did you have any feelings for him?
No,
He was a very nice
He was just a
man.
nice guy, just a friend.
And all of these, the man with the gold Rolex man, did you have feelings for him?
Yes, I dated him for a year and a half.
Okay. The men that you get these things from, do you have feelings for them?
The last relationship I was in, Oprah, was with a very wealthy man who I was involved with, and as I say, I got involved with married men for 9 years. Yes, I loved him.
You did love him.
Sure,
Yes.
many of these women do fall in love with the men, but they fall in love within the framework of a relatively small number of men who are wealthier. Like, she'll walk out of a party if she doesn't find a wealthy man.
But some men will only fall in love with a woman who's beautiful.
We have to give a considerable amount of kudos to Dr. Warren Farrell for essentially going to Feminism Central and telling these women that if you focus on men with status and success objects, then you're going to get a certain set of outcomes. And if you want the guys that are emotionally more appealing and all of the things that you're saying that you actually want, then you're going to have to give some of that up and think about guys who don't have the success objects yet. And essentially, all of these women are saying, nope, we don't want that. We want the success objects, but we want him to be kind and gentle. And he's essentially told them that's not going to happen. And as soon as he made the point, you get a woman saying, well, guys only want to date women that are beautiful, which basically doesn't even admit the fact that if guys are going to be more egalitarian, then you have to change the way that you're looking at guys. And they say, nope, absolutely not.
Honey, the way men are these days, any woman gets attractive. You three are so hard up, you don't know what you're even doing up there. And you, honey, let me tell you something. I'm 40 years old, and I've been through 8 husbands, and I wouldn't take you if you had $1 million in your pants. I'd take that man right there, because he looks like he could do me more good. And I would support him before I would support you.
She's not gonna fall back on me anytime soon. So I'm just saying. I mean, women.
I wouldn't fall back on you because you don't look like you have 2 nickels to rub together.
See, you know what? See, I'm not, okay, I'm young, I'm in school, I'm a collegiate, I'm not out here to listen to comments like that, see? Because she gets no respect from me. Because she'll never have respect. She won't have respect for herself ever. A man won't have respect for her ever.
We haven't talked about giving our emotions. We haven't talked about connecting and caring about each other.
Right.
And I think that's what's
How do
so
you
important.
connect, though, if the first thing you look for is what do you do and what do you drive? How do you connect?
Then that person can choose someone compatible for them. And for someone else who's looking for a more equitable relationship, there's someone for you, too. It's a free choice.
What we are looking for, what I hear the men and you saying that we're looking for is love, making love happen, not making money happen. And one of the things that happens for men is we get caught up in being so insecure that we get tied into a woman who says, if you have some money, we'll love you. And we give up our dreams that we have when we were kids, the dreams to be a writer, the dreams to be a thinker, the dreams to be a businessman.
You have your own choice. You make your own choice.
I agree.
You make your own choice.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right.
Men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman.
It's up with me. Just know that it's up. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my.
If you had one, maybe I would.
And look, her mama is such a mutt too. And you wonder how her daughter got mudded out. So they've been poking the whole time. Now he's frustrated. He's 27 years old, got this 33-year-old experienced 304, along with her 50, 60-year-old 304 mama, both of them ganging up on him.
The brilliance of this gentleman's exchange with the other 21-year-old woman, they are essentially the same age. And she dissed him for not having money yet. Now, when she's young in her 20s, she can get the older guys with the status success objects to give her attention. And she ignores this guy, the guy that's in college building himself up. And it can be represented in seeing the ire of one Brittney Renner, that she is upset that she played the game that the young lady in the pink played. She was the young hot girl, and then she tried to lock down the guy who was up and coming. And that guy essentially told her, nah, I don't really want you. And now for the next 40, 50 years of her life, Brittney Renner is going to have to live with the ire of not being chosen. And that's what Dr. Warren Farrell was telling the women on Oprah 34 years ago. You chase the status men with the status objects, you're going to be left with a lot of ire and being upset at men. And if you give the guys who are trying to be egalitarian a chance, they'll love you on their way up. But nobody cares about the guy on his way up. And that's what guys have come to understand. It was a joke. We were duped. We were told, be nice, be egalitarian, but really all it was more and more women simply saying, I don't want to be held to the standards of old, but I still want the perks of the old way of doing things. And there are fewer and fewer guys that see the benefit of playing that game with them. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.